respect, little since you ain't about that action, little I'm out here. And it's your people down.
One person is recovering after being shot in a Savannah neighborhood overnight.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Now, it looks like Quando Rondo is back in the news today. Now, just a few days ago, we talked about Quando Rondo and a situation he had going down in his hometown, where it seemed like a guy was upset with him and invited him to the fisticuffs, even going as far as pulling up to Quando Rondo's grandma's house. Now, this was out of whack, and a lot of people were like, man, this is serious for somebody to pull up to another dude's grandma's house just to get their issue on. Well, it looks like there's another story involving Quando Rondo and another one of his homeboys, and it seems like he's suffered another loss. Now, recently, Quando Rondo was in Los Angeles, and he was there with a friend of his by the name of Lil Pab, and they were ambushed in a shooting at a gas station, and Quando Rondo's homeboy Lil Pab ended up dying.
And a wild scene here as investigators say the apparent target of this deadly gunfire, a rapper from the Atlanta area. They say a pretty well-known rapper, too, in this area, along with a second person in his black Cadillac Escalade. May have been a relative, may have been a member of his entourage. We don't know, but it's that second person, not the rapper, but the second person who was hit by gunfire, dies from the gunfire.
Now, Quando Rondo has since gone back to Savannah, Georgia, and he's been working on music, and recently posted that he was going to drop a brand new album. Now, on the album cover was his homeboy Lil Pab in the background. And this started an online back and forth between Quando Rondo and Lil Durk, where they were sneak dissing each other. You could tell that they were talking about each other, even though they didn't mention names. Since then, Quando Rondo had some issues back home with this guy who went off on a tangent. The same guy who pulled up to his grandma's house. Now, since that video has surfaced, it looks like there's been something going down in the streets there in Savannah, and one of Quando Rondo's close homeboys has lost his life. So that's him suffering 2 losses in a very short period of time. Now, before we break down the details and talk about all the specifics, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, so in this post on social media, you see that somebody wrote that Quando Rondo is mourning the loss of another close friend less than a year after losing Lil Pab. Now, the Lil Pab situation happened in Los Angeles, and there's a lot of debate on how that was orchestrated and what took place, but the end was that he lost his friend, you know what I mean? Now, he's been mourning his friend on public posts and things like that, and other members of his team like Lil Tim and all those cats have been doing the same thing, right? Now, it looks like this is a post that was made to Quando Rondo's story where he actually showed love to his friend that just lost his life recently. Now, this is eerily close to the time period where there was a guy who went online and was dissing Quando Rondo. So this, it seems like it's connected, but it might not be. Let's just see what it is. Now, in this post, you see Quando Rondo says, "Love you, little bruh. I'm hurt about this. I feel like I yelled at you too much. Just wanted the best for you." Now, you see the guy who's pictured there, right? You see the guy who's there in the picture? That's the guy who allegedly lost his life. And it's also the guy who is allegedly in this report about a shooting locally there in Savannah. So what I want to do is I want to play this news clip that talks about a shooting that went down.
One person is recovering after being shot in a Savannah neighborhood overnight. The shooting happened shortly after 2 this morning at Savannah Gardens. The victim was taken to a nearby hospital to be treated for their injuries. Police have not released any information regarding a suspect. The shooting remains under investigation.
Now, as you heard in that report, the shooting remains under investigation at the time of the report. Somebody had got shot in an area called Savannah Gardens, and there's another news story that I want to talk about that seems closely related to this situation. So let's check that out. Okay, so you see this report from the local news there in Savannah, and it says this in the headline: Savannah police investigating Sunday shooting on East 55th Street. Now, this shooting seemed to take place around the same time that we're talking about, and this is possibly connected to Quando Rondo and his homeboy. Now, the story starts off by saying this. It says detectives with the Savannah Police Department are investigating after an 18-year-old was injured in a shooting on Sunday. According to SPD, officers responded to the 1200 block of East 55th Street just before midnight to discover Nazin T. Phillips, 18 years old, suffering from gunshot wounds. So it sounds like he was shot numerous times. And this seems like it might be one of Quando Rondo's homeboys. It seems around the age that, man, some of his friends might still be. So this might not be a stretch. This might actually be connected to the post that Quando Rondo made on social media. Now, it continues by saying he was taken to Memorial Medical Center for treatment of life-threatening injuries. So it seemed like at the time of the shooting, his life was already in danger based on the gunshots he had received. So this might be a reason why this has been lingering for some time. So let's actually look at another post that I want to talk about with Quando Rondo out here. So man, let's check this out. Now, recently, Quando Rondo put this post out there where it says, "Only the strong survive. Pull through, little bruh. Please pull through," with his fingers crossed. Now, and it also tagged a song there, and he says, he put this post out there, and it looks like at the time that he made this post, the person he was talking about had been shot and there was still hope there. Now it looks with the second post that, he received word that his friend had lost his life. Now this is the second post that he had put out there where it looks like he found out that his homeboy had lost his life. And in this post he says, "Love you, little bruh. I'm hurt about this. I feel like I yelled at you too much. I just wanted the best for you." You know what I mean? And you see the gentleman pictured right there, right? And it looks like Quando Rondo in the hoodie or one of his homeboys in the hoodie, and he's throwing up something with his hands. Now there's a picture I want to show you right here. And it's of a guy who looks similar to that guy in that picture, right? And he has the same name. His name is Nazin T. Phillips. So the news report said a guy by the name of Nazin T. Phillips was the one who was shot. They didn't say that he was killed. They said that he was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. This guy was arrested in the Savannah area. His name is also Nazin T. Phillips, and this is his mugshot. And he does look a little bit like the guy in the picture with Quando Rondo, if I'm not mistaken. So let's do a comparison, man. All right, so let's look at these two pictures. It looks like it could be the same guy that Quando Rondo is sending his condolences about in this picture. And when you look at the mugshot of the guy named Nazin T. Phillips, they look like the same guy. The same dreads, same sort of face and everything, man. Like it looks like the same exact guy. So I'm to assume that this is the guy that Quando Rondo is talking about. And it's also the guy that was named in the news report who had been shot numerous times and had been taken to the hospital and was essentially fighting for his life. So it seems like Quando Rondo has lost another member of his team and his squad, and obviously one of the younger members. So, this isn't a good thing. It's just crazy that with Quando Rondo, it seems like at this time, there's like a black cloud around this dude. You know what I mean? Like between all his back and forth and social media and stuff, and then with the guy pulling up to his crib, and let's check that out because I'm not sure if all of you have seen that. It was wild because it's disrespectful to first off pull up to somebody's crib, right? But to pull up to his grandma's crib and allegedly his uncle's crib with some beef that has to do with Quando Rondo, man, he was giving out basically the route to the house and everything, which could make a potentially dangerous situation in the future. So let's check this out, man.
I got you. We can hit. Cause you don't be scrapped. You. Where you at? I'm right here coming to your grandma's house. I don't do all this Facebook, boy. You see where the I'm at, boy? You know what the I pulls up. Come around here to your grandma so I can beat the bricks off you live on the book, bitch. I pulls the up. Your uncle, your grandma, and I'm on the street talking about scooter. Where you at, man? Pull up. Let's hit, little nigga. Let's hit, little nigga. Since you ain't about that action, little nigga. I'm out here. And it's your people found. And it's your people found. And it's your people found. And it's your people. Who your grandma is? Who your grandma is, fam?
Now this guy's repeating himself a lot, but basically he's showing that he is pulling up to somebody who Quando Rondo knows, showing that, yes, I'm not playing. I'm really pulling up at your grandma's house and all that.
Going on? You know what the f going on, love? You a Quando. You a outside. You know what the f going on, love?
Now at this point, he pulls up and he gets out the car and is basically showing that he's there and telling Quando Rondo to meet him out there. Now, I'm not sure if the Nazin T. Phillips shooting is connected to this at all or 100%, but it's wild that all these things are happening around the same time.
I pulls the f up. Where the f the little at? Little Quando. Call that little f boy. He live. You see what
Now, somebody said, do you want me to call him? So obviously they could reach out to Quando.
I'm at. Know what the going on? At your grandma's house, boy.
Come out, bring your on.
Pull up. I come to grandma's house. I'm in that bottom. At your grandma's house. Pull up. Not all time for this. Take my time. Where Quando at? All that talking.
Now, basically in that video, it sounds like he's asking Quando Rondo to pull up for the fight. He doesn't say anything about a shooting or anything of that nature, but obviously there might have been some bad blood in the air because of this shooting that might have involved one of Quando Rondo's homeboys. And sadly to say, Quando Rondo's homeboy, based on this post right here, taken from his story, he didn't pull through from this situation. And it seems like, man, it's something that keeps following Quando Rondo around. I don't know what he could do at this point because he does allegedly live that life. I know he said that he had renounced the gangster life and he was going to be throwing down his flag and all this stuff related to like gang stuff or whatnot. But I don't know, man. It seems like he might be a little too deep if he has all this going on around him. But y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section, man. Do y'all think it's possible that all these things are connected? That the shooting was in retaliation for something else, and this guy running up to Quando Rondo's grandma's house to pull up is something else? Or is it possible that all these things are connected? Now, with that, this has been your boy, Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.